For this 5-minute full body stretching routine, the only thing you'll need if you're not that flexible is something to put under your bum. I've got a yoga block here, but the less flexible you are, the higher you're going to want to have your bum, and we're going to use that in a minute. We're going to start first with the hip flexors. So what we're going to do is tuck the pelvis forward and lean right into it so that we feel a good stretch in the hip flexors here on this leg that's being hidden from the camera. And then what we're going to do, so posterior pelvic tilt, lean into it, and we're going to bring the arms right up like this. So we're actively trying to pull the arms as far back as possible, and it depends how flexible you are. The more flexible you are, the more you'll lean back here. And we're going to hold this for 30 seconds. Doing 30-second stretches for multiple sets is more beneficial than doing one really long hold. And that's really, really good, because it means that in a 5-minute stretching routine, if you did this multiple times throughout the week or even twice a day, that's enough to make some serious flexibility gains. You don't need to sit in the one stretch, let's change sides now, for 2-3 minutes. That's a real myth that that's what you should do to get flexible. Tuck the pelvis forward, lean into it, feel the stretch here. Bring the arms up. I'm just checking the clock to make sure that I do 30 seconds. And we're just leaning back. So this is doing the whole anterior chain. So it's targeting the hip flexors here, but we're also getting into the lats and the spine as well by leaning back and by actively pulling our arms back into shoulder flexion. Almost there, just another 10 seconds. Okay, good work. And now we do the opposite. So we've just done extension through the spine. So now we just come down into the child's pose and just lean back like this. And this is such a good stretch for the lumbar, for the lower back here. That's an area for me that I've had a lot of problems with. I've got something called spondylolisthesis and a pars defect, and I get really, really tight in that area. And just simply sitting here in this child's pose like this, just for 30 seconds, is enough to get a really good stretch in that lower back and see some good improvement. I forgot to check the time to see when I started. We'll just do another 10 seconds. And now we're going to move into hip flexors and adductors. So this is where you'll sit on your object here. If you're not as flexible as I am, you'll need to go on a higher object, and I'm just sitting on this to show you guys. But the idea is that we want to be able to sit up nice and straight. We want to avoid, going like this, okay? So if you're going like this, you want to bring your bum higher. So we get the bum up and we want to try to lean forward. Now, I don't need this to do my stretch, but obviously as you get more flexible, we're going to come down here. But for now, it's not about how wide your feet are apart either, by the way. I'm not trying to do the middle splits here at all. This is for the hamstrings, okay? And now what we're going to do, so you're going to be sitting on your box if you're not as flexible as me, and we're just going to raise this arm up and just lean over like this, okay? So we're getting into the QL, into the side of the body, and again, it depends on how flexible you are, but you can come right down, putting this arm on the ground, reaching over for that foot there. Completely depends on what you've got. Don't worry if you can't do it as well as I can. If when you do it, it looks like this, that's totally fine. Just breathe and just do the best you can do. The worst mistake you can make with flexibility training and stretching is hurt yourself by pushing too far. So it can feel uncomfortable, of course. Let's change sides. Of course, doing this if you're not flexible might not be described as a comfortable feeling, but we don't want pain. We don't want to be feeling pain when we're stretching, okay? So we want to just hold the position, go to wherever you can go, whatever your level of flexibility allows. I'm going to do this just for another 10 seconds or so. So 30 seconds in each position is absolutely enough to have some significant flexibility improvement. And then just to finish off, we're going to do a few spine rotations. So from here, we're going to turn the head as far as you can. So you're pushing with your hand, actively pulling with your neck to get a really good stretch and rotation through the whole spine. Turning, 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 turning that head, actively pulling back, and then we change sides. Turn, turn, turn. So push with the hand, turning the head, getting a really good rotation through the whole spine. Keep going. And if you want to join in on a little bit of a longer routine, you can click or tap the screen there. I've got some middle splits, front splits, shoulder flexibility routines that are really, really effective. And if you got value out of this, please like and subscribe to the channel. I post daily content like this. Hit me up with any comments or questions that you have, and I'll see you in that next video.